I'm Andy Dyer. I'm here with Carol from Farmer Network, and we're going to show you a straightforward guide to taking soil samples so that you can comply with your SAM1 or CSAM1 actions within SFI. So we're going to go through the sort of technique.
Practicalities of it all, aren't we, Andy?
Yep, and then what to do with the results once you get them back from the laboratory as well.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first, really, Carol, is what equipment we're going to need on the day. So ideally, you want a soil sampling spear. This is one that is suitable for both arable and grassland there, but you can buy other ones or borrow other ones which are just a small pot-like one that can just be stabbed in the ground and give you a very short one. But ideally, we're looking to sample from 4 to 6 inches down, depending on ground conditions and everything else. Okay, all right, there. And
we have got one at the Farmer Network, haven't we, Andy, that we can actually hire out?
Yep, Cats and Sensitive Farming, also another good place to get them from. They'll quite happily lend you the kit to go out. Okay, so the cane is there just to sort of push the soil sample out of the groove on that one there. The small pot ones there, basically, as soon as you push them in the ground and then push the next one in, it pops the sample back out. Okay, so we have that there. We'll need the spade for later. We'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Okay, but once you've got your sample, once you collecting the soil, we're going to collect that in the bucket as we go around. Okay, now this is a relatively small field, which we'll see in a minute, but larger fields, or if you're going to do groups of fields, then obviously a bucket's handy just for mixing that soil together. Ideally, if you're going to do a group of fields together, pick ones that are similar soil type, similar management, and similar aspect on the farm. Okay, so a group of, say, meadows or silage ground or something like that, or a group of grazing ground. Quite happy if you're going to mix those together to create a bigger, you could pool it all together. And anything up to 50 acres is a kind of average there. So that what you're aiming for is a representative sample of the ground. Okay, whether that be for your pH, your magnesium, your phosphorus, or your potash, or your lime. Okay, we'll talk more about that once we get a sample. Okay, so once you've got the sample in the bucket, mixed it all up, we're then going to either put it in a box, okay, the dispensing off to the laboratory, or into a bag. Okay. With a ballpoint pen or whatever, we're going to write on there the field details. Okay, that can be the field name, field number, its national grid number, and a sample number.
So it means something to yourself.
Absolutely, because
when you get the results back.
And particularly if you're going to do it yourself, then obviously you want to be able to relate that to your particular farm and there. So quite often you'll have your field name, which will be the best thing for you there. Obviously, if you're going to put that into a soil management plan, and that might end up with the Environment Agency or another body, then the field number is probably essential as well, because then that means a lot more to the government organisations that we're involved with. So either way, going into the bag or into the box, and we'll talk more about the process of where that ends up. Once we get back into
the laboratories,
the laboratories that we use. The important thing to remember is if you're going to take soil samples and you're going to do them over a regular period, is to use the same laboratory. Okay, don't mix and match. Okay, because you then get a consistency of the analysis. Okay, and how those soils are analysed by the laboratory coming back to you. Okay,
I see.
And you get the same kind of type of results as well. Okay. Okay, so first thing to do is to assess the field. Okay, so where we are and if there's anywhere that we're going to avoid in the field here today. Okay, so behind us we've got a gateway, Carol, and a water trough, and we know there's other gateways up that side of the field as well. Now, if there was a ring feeder in the field or a cattle feeder, we'd want to avoid those areas as well. Or if we knew that there'd been an area where there'd been a heap of farmyard manure, or something else stored there for a period.
What about the tree cover, Andy? Would that make a difference? Are we looking at more in the middle of the field, or would that not make a difference?
It doesn't make a huge difference, but again, if there's a large amount of trees along the edge of the field or somewhere, then yes, you'd want to avoid that, because that could impact on the result in terms of what you're going to find there. So sensibly, middle of the field, and I tend to adopt a W-shaped pattern when I'm going soil sampling. Okay, so you're going to try and cover as much as the field as is possible within there. And again, with a field of this side, I mean, this field's about 2.5, 3 acres or something like that, then I'm going to look to take probably about a dozen or 15, individual little cores there. On a bigger field, you might take 20 or 30. Okay. I say the important thing is to get a representative sample across the field. Brilliant. Avoiding areas where there's not likely to be any fertilizer, or there's an area of scrub up the top of the field there, so we wouldn't go and sample up there, for example. There, but I say just being sensible about where you go.
Yeah, and this is a good time of year to do it. So we're in just at the beginning of February, aren't we? So the nutrient levels are sort of dormant, are they, at the moment?
They're stable at the moment.
Stable.
Again, obviously avoid times at least 3 weeks after you've applied slurries or rough mucks, okay, on that side of things. And anywhere from October till March is generally a good time to be sampling. Okay, so we're spot on time, and we've got the weather for it today as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, so next thing then is how we go about taking the soil samples. So I'm just going to gently push the spear into the ground and then extract that out. And now what we don't want is any vegetation in there, or as little as possible. So we just flick that out to one side. Okay, and then with the bucket on the ground, we then can push the soil out.
Yep.
And that's one little cord on there. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's just a couple of little cores in there. So what I'll do is I'll take a few more and we'll put them into the bucket, give that a mix up, and then show you how then to transfer that into either your box or to your bag. Okay,
ready for how much?
Yeah, how much you're going to need. Okay. Okay, so now we've got our soil into the bucket here, and normally on a field this size, we'd be looking at taking 12 to 15 different samples, little cores across the field, working on that W pattern, as I've said before, and aiming sort of 20 to 30 meters or so between each spot, each sample there. As you get more experience there with doing it, you'll speed up and you'll just do it naturally, as part of the process there without thinking about it.
So if you're interested in getting some soil sampling done, please get in touch with the Farmer Network. We've got a couple of offers on for Farmer Network members, one being a buy one get one free with Origin Soil Nutrition. The other is some discounts with the lamb crop laboratories. So if you get in touch with the office, we'll be able to sort that out and send them out to you. You give us a ring on 01768 868 615.